Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back.
I'm Erin Bell.
And I'm Kenny Page.
And we are Podymouth.
So today we are finally kind of getting back on the road with some of the murder mystery stuff. An ongoing case that it literally happened. Today is January 12th, just for a little bit of reference. This happened. It's been an ongoing thing, but the person got arrested on January 6th, so it is very fresh. Or January 7th, I believe. One of those 2 days. So it's very fresh, and we wanted to read about it because Erin has not heard much about it.
I don't think I've heard any of this.
Aside from hearing it from me. And it's something that had happened in PA, so it's something, it's from PA.
Close to home.
Yeah, this is about the PA grave robber. I'm just going to pull up. I have notes that I took myself, and I'm also going to be reading from ABC News. I will link everything that I got sources from in the description. This is about 34-year-old Jonathan Gerlach, and he goes by Dead Daddy.
What the f***? No, I have no idea what the f***. So this is all pure reaction.
So I will start this off by, I was reading some comments on some posts, and some people that were local to this guy or friends with this guy said he was a very chill guy. Like, they didn't expect...
They always are.
Yeah.
I had no idea Jim Bob would go on a f***ing murder thing and 300 people. Oh my god, he was so quiet. Yeah, it's always those ones.
So, I'm going to start off by reading the little thing here from ABC News, and then I will go in with, I'll hit any other spots that wasn't mentioned in this here. The title is 100 Skulls, Mummified Body Parts Found in a Pennsylvania Grave Robbery Case.
Ed Gein to Part 2.
Police say a Pennsylvania man who had about 100 sets of human remains is charged with stealing from a graveyard at the edge of Philadelphia. Bones and skulls visible in the back seat of a car near an abandoned cemetery in Philadelphia's outskirts led police to a basement filled with body parts, which authorities say were hoarded by a man now accused of stealing about 100 sets of human remains. Officers say a Tuesday night arrest culminated a months-long investigation into break-ins at Mount Moriah Cemetery, where at least 26 mausoleums and vaults had been forced open since early November. Investigators later searched the Ephrata home, which I don't know if I'm pronouncing. It's Ephrata. It's a place in PA.
Sounds right.
And storage unit of Jonathan Christ Gerlach, 34, and reported finding more than 100 human skulls, long bones, mummified hands and feet, 2 decomposing torsos, and other skeletal items.
Ugh.
They were in various states. Some of them were hanging, as it were some of them were pieced together. Some just skulls on a shelf, Delaware County District Attorney Tanner Roos said. Most were in the basement, authorities said, and they also recovered jewelry believed to be linked to the graves. In one case, a pacemaker was still attached. So, some of them were fresh. Like, it wasn't just, like, he was digging up, and I did read that some of them were over 200 years old that he was digging up.
Whoa! I wonder if he's just very not okay curious.
I will also get, because I personally found his Instagram, which I wouldn't say I found it. People were posting his Instagram everywhere, and I went to it just to see, just to get, more of a face, because I saw pictures of him, but, to get, an idea of what he was posting, and I immediately left. I was like, okay, because, when you see things on, it would be kind of like things that you saw on Pinterest, like a skull with flowers and, a bat, witchy, witchcraft, stuff like that. And, I feel like when you look at that stuff, you never really think of, like, how did they obtain a human skull for this? Or is that a human skull? Like, stuff like that. Or, like, some people do, like, mummified animals and stuff like that. Like, it's just, like, I'm not saying that it's normal, but, like, some people sell,
Which is funny
like...
because that's kind of legal, but then also the people think's not.
Yeah, no, he was selling these items. Police say that Gerlach targeted mausoleums and underground vaults at the 1855 cemetery. It's considered the country's largest abandoned burial ground, according to Friends of Mount Moriah Cemetery, which helps maintain the 160-acre landmark in Yeadon that's home to an estimate of 150,000 grave sites.
155,000.
Police had been looking into the string of burglaries when an investigator checked Gerlach's vehicle plates and found that he had been near Yeadon repeatedly during the period when the burglaries occurred. Police say the break-ins centered on sealed vaults and mausoleums containing older burials, which had been smashed open or had stonework damaged to reach the remains inside. He was arrested as he walked back towards his car with a crowbar, police said, and a burlap bag, which officers found the mummified remains of 2 small children, 3 skulls, and other bones. Gerlach told investigators he took about 30 sets of human remains and showed them the graves he stole from, police said. Given the enormity of what we are looking at, and the sheer utter lack of reasonable explanation, it's difficult to say right now at this juncture exactly what took place. We're trying to figure out, Roos told reporters. Gerlach was charged with 100 counts each of abuse of a corpse and receiving stolen property, along with multiple counts of desecrating a historic burial place, burglary, trespassing, and theft. He is jailed on a $1 million bond.
Oh.
No lawyer was listed in court records. A message seeking comment was texted to a cell phone linked to him. And that's all that was on the ABC one. I will add in, I hate saying like, oh, a couple facts, because it's disgusting and crazy. He would sell the remains on his social medias. He would make posts about them. He would clean them up and pose, like holding them, pose with them and everything. And he would post like in-depth captions of like how clean and like how like prestige some of these would be, like the mummified parts and everything. He would be like, oh, these are like in prestige condition. What a wonderful mummified piece of work art have I acquired, and like stuff like that. And in some of the posts that he had made, he would say like he was so blessed to be able to have possession of this item. And I was like, what? And some of the remains were 200 years old, others were fresh, including the one with the pacemaker still attached. So that's still like, yeah. And then he would also use a rope to rappel himself that was about 12 feet long to get down into under the cemeteries to do like the acts, like to dig them up and go down in. And his fiance, yes, he was engaged to somebody who, which I saw a lot of people being like, oh, she definitely knew that he was doing this stuff, or like stuff like that. I was like, yeah, because how would you be engaged to somebody and not know like how they got these skulls and stuff? Because you can't just hide skulls in your house. You can't hide human remains. Like, he was gone for hours at a time.
He must have also been into that
Literally, like, being gone hours at a time in the middle of the night to break into cemeteries.
How much did she help him?
Yeah. She told police that he had a storage unit.
Ah! She ratted his out.
Which he had said was just for personal items, but the cadaver dog...
He had the pacemakers in there.
Yeah. The dog said otherwise, and they found 8 human corpses, old jewelry, ashes, body parts, and more, and he admitted to selling some and keeping some for himself.
Keeping them?
And he was... yeah.
Homie, those are not trinkets. Put those the back. What do you mean?
He was charged with over 500 things. I think it was 547 as of right now. And he has a preliminary hearing on January 20th at 10 a.m. Yeah. And I guess I can't remember if it said that he worked at Hot Topic or something, because people were like saying people were saying like, oh, he was just a normal chill guy, like you, and then he was also in a band, and the band sucked.
Called the Grave Robbers?
No.
That's a good one.
The Road to Milestone was what it was called.
Road to Milestone?
The Road to Milestone. He was the lead singer.
Not no more.
But no, I guess that also didn't work out very, very long either. Yeah, it
wasn't his particular hobby.
Apparently not.
It's not funny.
It's not. We are not laughing out of like, it's funny. It's just
crazy. Like, what do you mean? Like, how is this
How do people think of like doing like this? What do you mean that you just went and stole? And I believe that there was 2 that they actually identified. One was from the 1800s, and her name was Mary.
That's a lot of work to have to do all that to.
All I was thinking was like, imagine being one of the cops that like caught him. Like, imagine having to write this up and write out all the charges and And there were people that were getting interviewed, and they're like, this is like the worst thing that like we have, like the worst gory case that we have ever like dealt with. This guy, like, he's obviously mentally unwell, but I don't think, as far as like what people have said and everything, they didn't think that it's like he had schizophrenia and stuff like that. But
people just have very like morbid curiosity, and like to an extent I do too, but I just watch like murder mysteries and and like I don't know, like unsolved cases or whatever, but like never have I ever thought of, I'm bored tonight, let me go rob a grave. That is wild.
Would anyone make a baby coffee?
You want to show the camera your baby espresso?
Not the baby
coffee?
If you come in here, you have to show the camera. Just don't trip over that like Beanie does.
Don't trip over and make sure it focuses. We're talking.
This is what I get for buying him an espresso cup for Christmas last year. Or was his
Jarrett,
birthday.
have you heard about the Pennsylvania grave robber yet?
You mean my neighbor?
No.
Where do you think he goes in the middle of the night covering those dark clothes?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Tim. Who are you talking about?
Oh my goodness. Let me see if I can find the information here. The first reported burglary occurred on November 7th when Edinburgh police were called by Friends of Mount Moriah, a volunteer group that maintains the cemetery. And that's whenever they first found extensive damage. It's like a hit or miss with like some of the information. Like some of them have really in-depth information. Others are like, this guy got arrested because he stole from a cemetery. It's like, okay, that's all the more information you want to give me. But this was more or less, like I said, a reaction for Aaron, because I got pretty deep into looking into this, and I asked him, I'm like, oh, do you want to read about this? And also, I can insert a photo of him. This is a photo of him. Keeps coming back.
They're gonna go septum theory. Shut up. Have you heard that before?
Yes. A good dude, former friend of the alleged grave robber, shares insight into suspect's past. Let's read.
He didn't kill anybody. He just, robbed hundreds of families of their dead people.
What me off is that I went in to see how many pictures he was tagged in, because I imagined, like, oh, people were probably dragging him on. Like, somebody had made a post, and it literally said, free Gerlach. Because they said, oh, they were, like, he didn't do anything wrong. It shouldn't be illegal because he was just giving a new house and a new future to all of these abandoned parts in a cemetery. I'm like, they're supposed to be there for a reason. They're not just abandoned. Parts. I still occasionally go up and visit my grandparents' graves. Like, you put flowers, you spruce it up and they're not abandoned.
Can you imagine somebody robs the grave of your dead 8-month-old child?
Yeah. No, thank you. No. You do that? No. Absolutely not.
Even
Because it's like,
in death, people can't rest.
literal. It's like, because it's still them. It's literal, obviously, human remains, but
Just their
they're
physical.
buried there for the rest of eternity. And, like, you can still physically go to their grave. You can still, like, it's still visiting them, what's left of them there. But no. Apparently somebody has some weird intentions. I was looking to see if there was any more, like, super in-depth information, but like I said, it's still a very fresh case. And I'm sure that more will come to light when they get more information from the fiance. Excuse me, because also what I was reading was that the fiance was she was very active on social medias and stuff and communities and everything. Yeah, whenever I saw this, I was like, it's very close to home in the sense of it's in the state of Pennsylvania. And with it being fresh, I kind of wanted to, like, every time that I see something that's, like, new and fresh, that will be, like, more information will be flowing in from it. I'm like, I really want to, like, read into that. I want to do an episode on that. Because we haven't done, but, 2 murder mystery things? Because it's very, like, I like some of the older ones because it's not, like...
It sounds but, like, we can almost detach from it because it didn't happen around us, or, like, it's been so long and we weren't here when it was a thing, thing.
Yeah, so it's not, like, and...
It's not as heavy. It's still, obviously, it's all still serious. It's all still, like, that shouldn't have happened, but it's just... It's a little bit easier to swallow, at least personally, because, like, I know, like, I'm able to, like, detach from a lot of stuff, like, obviously, because if not, I wouldn't be able, there's no way I'd be able to, like, consume that kind of content.
Yeah. And I do, like I said, there's another case that just happened in Ohio, and it was a couple that got murdered, and I was like, I really want to read into this and, like, put out information and read into it to be known, because there's so many things, like, so many murder cases and everything that are, like, super, super deep, and I'm not saying, like, not all of them are deep, but, like, murder mystery stuff that have happened that I'm not, like, super aware about, and then, like, it will resurface, and I'm like, why didn't I hear about that 3 years ago? I enjoy the laying down to go to bed and putting on some sort of, like, mystery case and, like, stuff, like,
go to sleep, like... and she was hacked away in her sleep, and you're like...
And I was like, what?
Literally.
No, like, I just, I wasn't, like, a Law and Order type of gal. Like, my mom watched it, but I wasn't, like, super in depth, and now I know why my mom would, like, sit down and be like, shut up, my show's on. Like, it's just... There's so many cases, and like I said, a lot of them will resurface and everything, so that's why I feel like with this one, with it being fresh and everything, it's not like a murder case, but it's something, like, serious and, like, crazy, and I think, like, people do that shit? Why are you selling? Why, like, now they have to look into who bought this shit. How did they, like, he was going in to get his LLC, which I don't remember exactly what it was for. He was getting an LLC for this to be a business. Like, and he was selling, like, mummified kittens and, like, stuff like that. And, yeah, it was crazy. And people were like, oh, these are beautiful. Like, this is art, like, this and that. Because, like, the people who are, like, into, like, super witchy stuff. And I'm not saying, like, everybody will be, that's, like, into witchy stuff is, like, yes, steal those skulls. Like, no. Like, it's just crazy to wrap your mind around, because I guarantee you Netflix is like, oh yeah, bring this one on, because once they get more information out, I'm sure that they will get a Netflix series or some out before this case is, like, done and over with, because this guy's probably not getting out of prison after this, because he's been doing it for multiple years. Who knows how long? I don't even know.
Years?
Yeah. I will read his bio on his Instagram to you, and I just don't want I don't want to scroll nothing. If you want to look for yourself, obviously it's public information. There's hundreds of thousands of comments on these posts and everything, and they haven't taken it down yet. His Instagram is Dead Daddy. Ledger of the Dead. He has 16.2k followers. It's for education purposes is what he put his account as, or his profile as. Provenance and forensic documentation of human and animal remains. Curator of specimens, pathology and osteology. Reports, validation, and private consultations. So, it just goes even deeper than just selling skulls and stuff. It's like, what are you, like, consultations and shit? Like, are people bringing him? Are other people purchasing that people's skulls and stuff and bringing them to him for what? Like this now
This is gonna open a can of worms.
Yeah, everybody else who has bought these human remains, like especially if he has. Let me scroll back because I want to see when his first post was. This one was 2023, but somebody had commented saying that he's been doing this for years, and I'm like, years? Even 2023 at this point, that's 3 years. If he had 100 human remains in his house in storage, think of how many human remains he has acquired in the last 3 years.
There's no way his fiance didn't know.
And it's just, it's crazy. Like, what? Imagine being the cop to bust this guy, and he just casually has dead people in a burlap sack that he just got done digging up for the last 3 hours. And people were like saying like, "Oh yeah, look at his fingers under his grimy fingernails and this and that and everything." I'm like, that's disgusting. That's crazy. That's insane. Like I said, I can't wrap my mind around that. It's just insane. And the more that, and it's just like one of those things where I'm like, I want more information. Tell me more about this guy. I want to learn. Like, it's whenever you're back in like 3rd grade and they're like, you need to pick somebody from history to like learn about, and like you fall down a rabbit hole of like all this information from start to finish. Like, I sat there and I was like, okay, so he was part of a band. The band sucked. He had friends that said that he was a casual, chill guy. He had a fiance that was like, oh, he has the storage unit.
She probably was offered a deal. Because there's no way she didn't know.
And how long haven't they been engaged for? And like, and people were pulling apart, like, they went as far as looking at the pictures of him, of like him holding skulls and everything, and like going and finding the house on Zillow and like that. They're like, this adds up, this is this person's house. And then they found a picture of the girlfriend on her posts with like their dogs and stuff in the house, and they're like, yeah, this person, like, they're together, like this is obviously his fiance and everything. So I have a feeling that more people are going to end up probably arrested. Excuse me. More people will probably end up arrested in this situation, and I'm curious to learn about what he says in court. If he will say anything at all, if he'll explain why he did it, if he, I don't know. It's like that. Like I said, this is just the beginning of this.
It's just crazy. I don't.
Like I said, there's probably going to be a Netflix series on this and everything, but you can find all the information online. Literally, if you look up his name, Jonathan Gerlach, or look up PA Grave Robber, and anything along those lines, you can find all the information on there. Like I said, I was just reading from ABC News, and I looked at CNN, and a lot of people were doing TikToks on it. Like, as soon as it started, I was like, And I believe I saw it literally the day that he got arrested. Like, as soon as information came out, I saw a TikTok on it. And then today, I saw a lot of TikToks on it. And I was like, so. And like I said, this is very fresh. This is within the last week. So, there will be more information. He has his hearing on January 20th. So, maybe even if we come back and do an update video or shorts or something, we'll have some more information on that. But yeah, just especially hearing it from Pennsylvania, since we're from Pennsylvania, which we've said in previous posts. It's kind of close to home. So, any more thoughts? Thoughts and feelings? Any?
I just don't get how nobody knew.
Look,
Because even me, I feel like if I was a person that saw that, I'd be like, where do you get that? How do you acquire a human skull?
yeah. Like I said, you think back in, like, high school and stuff, how the science teachers had, like, mummified things and things in jars and, like that for science purposes. It would make sense in the sense of a teacher-wise, like, learning that stuff and, like, biology and, like, science classes and everything, but human remains? What? This ain't no cow or mouse in a preservation jar.
Yeah.
This is literally, like, and some of the people were going into depth, and I was, like, just sitting there. I couldn't even watch it. I was just listening, and they were talking about how, like, some of the mummified things, he would go in and be like, oh, it's preserved just perfectly because you can still see its eyebrow hairs and this. And I'm like, that's somebody's grandpa. That's somebody's dad. That's somebody's kid. That's somebody's baby. Like, why are you, like, preserved perfectly? Okay, this is in prestige. What? You're talking about a dead person, and somebody's out there still mourning over them being dead, and you're sitting here, and they don't even know that you have them in your basement right now, and you're worshiping you propping them up for pictures. What? It's crazy.
so up.
Which I believe, I want to say that there was a local cemetery that one of the monuments, it was vandalized and almost looking like somebody tried breaking into it, but it was like one of the huge, like, super old ones. Like, those, like, that's the exciting, like, I've seen people from around here posting, like, oh, this wreath or these things were stolen from my grandmother's, my mother's, my kids' graves. If you have any leads on who it was, we would like to have it back because this was a personal belonging that we put out for them that we resonate with, like, stuff like that.
That's crazy.
Like I said, for the millionth time, I can't wrap my mind around it. It's just crazy. Disgusting. Especially because it's crazy how different people's minds can be wired like that. Like, how, just one day, like, how did it start? One day you're just walking by a graveyard and you're like, that looks neat. Let me just go steal them real quick and shove them in my basement. Like, what? Like, did his parents know? Like, I haven't seen anything from his parents.
I think people know.
I haven't seen any. His parents haven't said anything that I saw. He doesn't have siblings. All the people who have said anything, his fiance said that, oh, he was a surgeon, and friends were like, oh, he was a chill guy. So, like, how did he, I don't know. Especially with a public platform like that, and he posted his face on some of them, and it's crazy. Unless if he literally lied about it, telling family members and friends, like, oh, like, he legally bought these, he legally has an LLC, he legally did that. Like, there's nothing legal about this.
No. Incorrect. Next question.
Anyways.
Not legal.
But yeah.
That's crazy.
That was a little segment on...
I'm glad we did this first, because I want this out of my system.
Yeah. We'll probably do, like, a little update, even if it's a little mini video on an update of this. More information as it comes out, because, like I said, this is an ongoing case, and as long as Aaron's fine with it, I'm sure that we can probably touch base with
I don't see why we wouldn't.
More information, so... Yeah, I think that's all we have for today. I will link all of the sources in the bio. But on that note, with that being said, we will catch you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.